So I would like to welcome everyone to the August 26th uh, Simon Fairfield Trustees meeting. We have a quorum. Everyone has received or should have received the minutes from July 22nd. Hopefully everyone's read them. I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as written.
So moved.
A second.
Second.
All right. Any discussion or corrections or questions? Hearing none. All those in favor,
Aye.
say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstain? Okay, the minutes from July 22nd, 2025 have been approved unanimously. So moving on to the financial report as of August 25th, as Justin has reported in his director's report.
We're 15.6% of the way through the fiscal year. We've spent 15% of our budget so far, so seems to be more or less on track.
Right.
There are some, I'm sorry?
I said I would say so.
There are some weird anomalies. CPC licenses are, I disabled those for the month of August due to the contract negotiation things going on with Overdrive. And just spent that on Wonderbooks instead. So like that's a little bit that just got absorbed into library materials because I wanted to keep, materials coming in instead of just, shutting off the Overdrive tap and waiting to turn it back on when everything is resolved. So we've just sort of spent some of the CPC license money on library materials instead, which is kind of six of one, half a dozen of the other. But it also means we can count it towards our, materials expenditure requirement, where CPC licenses don't. That's the only reason that exists as a separate line item. And I need to redo my formulas over here because I don't think that 1,600 is 12% of 14,400. I copied and pasted these from my last fiscal year stuff.
Actually, no, it would be.
Oh, it is. Okay, all right.
10% would be 14. Yeah, we're close.
It works. Yeah, so that's where we are operationally. Any questions before I move on to trustee accounts?
I think we're good.
Opening balance have been reconciled with Gene. I sent an email about that with the interest outline, but these opening balances are significantly higher than what I reported for closing balances because it includes the May and June interest and like the end of year profit loss carryover things I don't understand. But these are the numbers that have been reconciled with Gene. I guess the easiest way to look is the because we haven't had a lot of movement, but I mean just the interest alone that I tabulated added about $3,000 to our capital campaign.
I was going to comment on that, Justin, that just looking through the figures of all the various accounts that we have earned pretty significant interest since we've put things where they belong. I think mainly in part to Ellie.
I believe about $10,000 is what we earned in interest between various accounts over the last fiscal year.
Yes, and the friends have an account at Unibank, a savings account and a checking account. The savings account from Unibank for the whole year is less than $4. So I'm glad that this is now in effect, that this is being used, the town's stuff. So that was nice of Matt to give us permission to do that.
Very nice. Yep.
And every time I go into Unibank, they say, "Would you like some water or new pens or anything? And I said, no, I want more interest.
More interest. So this brings our capital funds up to 273,000. Our unrestricted funds up to 43,000. That number is significantly higher because the last report I gave before the end of the fiscal year did not have all of our library incentive grant disbursements in it. It only had the first one, and we still had another one that came in for about 14,000. So that brings our library incentive grant money up. We've still got these funds restricted to archival expenses, story walks, children's books from R.S. Douglas, 31113 for circulating material, and then the $10,000 unspendable trust. So, I mean, I think the moral of the story here is, we're in a good spot, and the capital campaign is bearing fruit. I mean, it's increasing. We're getting there. Slowly but surely, we're getting there.
Good.
If for nothing else, to keep us in the eye of the community.
No, we have been all over the eye of the community lately.
Hopefully all in good ways.
Yeah. Definitely.
None of us have been escorted home yet. Well, in a while, anyhow. Anyhow, I'm sorry, I digress.
Oh, no, you're good. And I guess the other thing related to finance is the finance report we have to submit to the state. I finalized and got submitted today because Danielle brought it back signed, and we're all on set to get our municipal appropriation requirement and get all of our grant money. We're in 100% compliance with everything.
Yes, it looks very good.
And I should send that out to everybody.
That would be a good idea.
Yeah, I would just want to format it a little bit better because you saw it, it's a mess.
Yeah, it's a little. I had a few questions, but once he explained things to me, it became crystal clear.
Okay. For director's report, circulation continues to surge. Books were up 300 over the last July. And if you combine everything, our circulation went from 4,748 last July to 5,231 this July. Our door count was, insane compared to where it was the last year. Our website visitors were about twice as much. The website views were about twice as much. Douglas Ways, we opened, about a dozen more than we did last month. And Douglas Mills, that subscriber base is kind of creeping up again too. Every month, it's like 6 or 7 more mills get opened. So if that keeps going, then within a few years, we'll have a really good subscriber base. And people are still commenting about it a lot. So the people who are reading it are using it, they're using the information they get there, and they're showing up to stuff.
That's awesome. Good.
Gave away 60 brain bundles, 160 coloring sheets, 78 take-home crafts, and 170 teas in July. And the only other announcements I have for the director's report, because I wrote a lot of things in this director's report only to realize that they're later in the agenda. We had 82 registered to log reading this summer, and Deb hit 1,181 hours of logged reading. So that's over 200 hours more than we've ever done before. We had 275 individuals who participated in the programs and the story times that we did. So it was a successful summer reading, and it's over. Lisa is starting a cookbook collective. So this is something people have talked about for a long time, a cookbook book club. So September 18th will be the first meeting. Selected a cookbook. So everyone's just going to bring a recipe from it, and they're going to swap treats, tips, and chat about stuff.
So I had read that it was going to be the Barefoot Contessa's cookbook.
Yes, I think so.
So we're supposed to do something from that cookbook?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
For this meeting, or are we just because I signed, or I don't know if I signed up, but I said I was interested in it or something. But I plan to go to it because I love cookbooks. But nobody's told us that that's what we're doing, or did a whole bunch of the barefoot Contessa books come in? Are they there? Or, I know I don't have any because I gave mine all to the book sale. So
You might be able to look it up online, Ellie.
I think we'll have some.
well, I just didn't understand that. I mean, how do you know that, Danielle? Did somebody
I
tell
had
you,
just
or
read
did
it and I was a little confused myself the same way. Is that, are we doing just whatever we want this time, or are we going from something from that cookbook?
Yeah. You're supposed to bring a dish you've made from the month's cookbook and an appetite for good conversation, is what the
Yeah.
event
yeah, but it
says.
doesn't say there, does it? What this month's cookbook is.
Yes, it does.
Looks like each month's new book. Dish you love, Name.
Does it?
Fun.
Each month we'll explore a new cookbook. No, it's not there.
It does not say it there.
It does not say what cookbook.
That needs a little clarification, okay, before it goes out any further.
Maybe was
It's
it in the
somewhere though
Facebook
because
event?
I've read it.
It
Yeah, I
might
read
be
it
in
I
like
too.
a
did too,
calendar event.
so it needs to be in one place to,
Yeah, but it should be consistent too.
I
I
agree.
know, like on the happenings page, they try to keep the descriptions a little bit more general so that they don't have to edit it all the time. And then for the September, the calendar, there it is, the Barefoot Contessa Cookbook by Ina Garden
Okay,
will be the
so
first one.
um, Lisa's good at doing this of, requesting a bunch of copies of it so that,
Yeah, I might can make a
uh,
card for that for their club.
yeah,
I'll poke Lisa about it tomorrow.
yeah. She's really good at that.
Right.
So now how do I get back to?
Right.
There we go.
Are we good with all
So
of that?
hopefully that works out well. It's like the only way we can get away with doing a food-based program without having to go through a whole bunch of hoops for, like making it serve safe and like getting the certifications and all that. If you just make it a potluck kind of thing, then it works out better.
Right.
All right. Okay, so we could move forward under old business, building projects, accessibility.
I have reached out to Cuppy, outlined to him all of the materials that I have, and just asked him if he has any interest in helping out. So now we'll just kind of see what happens.
All right.
So
So under
my
other,
understanding is if he's interested, he'll be back in touch. If he's
I'm
not,
sure.
well, continuing to bother him about it more than once is he would not appreciate that.
Right, exactly. So we'll hear. If we hear, we hear.
Yep.
And we'll let it rest for now. Under other, with Brian LaValle.
In 2 weeks, give or take, because we know how contractors can be with their myriad projects. Brian LaValle is going to come and begin the archive ceiling above me, those things, and make them look like Deb's office. And after that, we'll turn while this is happening, we'll have to move the archive stuff out into the central room. And then once we're able to get the archive stuff back in here, we will set the central room up as display and sorting for the auction this fall. And maybe Oktoberfest book sorting too, because it's getting pretty crowded in there. And then figure out what to do with it once the dust settles from the auction. Just kind of see where we're at and what we can do. I'm hoping we have enough maintenance and repairs budget left over to address some of the drop ceiling tiles in that room, or I don't know. Once Brian's done in here, we can evaluate, see how much money we have left to see us through the end of the fiscal year, and we might be able to do some things in that room. We won't be able to get it all the way like finished, but we could start. And then it's just kind of bringing the basement together. I could pick this up and show y'all Deb's office now if you're interested in, because it is coming along great.
Can you get rid of this meeting is being recorded, it's also being transcribed, because that's taking up, when you go into the other room now, I'll just see this little square up here. Oh.
Let's see.
Well, we're all little squares. Oh, there. Okay.
Yeah, that's better.
Big. Can you make it see it now better?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
That's great.
So we've got up these little paper globes. We've got shelves. We've got the desk. The ceilings have been finished, and
the rug's on the floor.
Been moved in.
That looks so much more professional. It really does.
Really nice.
How does Deb feel?
She's loving it so far. I mean, like, she's still kind of a nervous wreck because she's got, some of her stuff is in the attic, some of it's in here, some of it's in the story time room, and things are just all over the place right now. But once it's done, it's going to be awesome. And then this space in here, if we could get rid of the drop tile ceilings and get rid of the pipes and the wires and like all the old outdated junk that's above these, we could do the same thing to this room that we did to Deb's, and then we would be able to like fit shelves and furniture in here, which would be great, because right now the ceilings are too low, and none of the shelving hardware that we have will fit. But I mean, it's a central space which was just begging for some kind of public use, either a tech lab or like a community living room kind of space, or just something.
I think there's so many possibilities once everything gets sorted out. Yeah.
Very cool.
It looks so good.
So that's what we've been working on, with the basement. It's the equation's finally starting to come together, I feel like, so we can appreciate, that, it's not just spinning our wheels. There is something coming out of this. It's just taking a long time.
Yeah.
Because we have to spend the money little bit by little bit by little bit instead of doing it all at once.
Right.
Talking about other, how are this, I can't remember what, I know it wasn't going to be immediate, but you were going to sandblast or something like that, the front steps and...
Yeah, we want to get the front steps pressure washed and sealed before the first application of salt this winter.
Okay.
And if I can't carve out the time to get it done soon, I'm going to ask a volunteer to do it.
They need to be sealed, right?
Yep.
So that.
And what's involved in that, Justin? What's involved in sealing them?
The sealing is the easy part, because you can just go buy buckets of like this clear, almost epoxy, like, penetrative sealant, and you just slop it on there with a mop. It soaks into the concrete, and it like gives it, it just helps wick the water off of it and keep the salt and stuff off.
Well, I'm volunteering my husband. He can do that. If we get everything hosed down and whatever it needs to be done, he can do that.
It's the hosing down that's going to take more time, because pressure washing it's a lot of fun. It's just time consuming.
Yeah. How long is a long time? Is it a day's worth? So it could be done on
probably
a Friday,
a good solid day's
Sunday
worth of work. Like a Friday all day probably could do it.
Or a Sunday.
Or a Sunday.
When you're talking pressure washing, what kind of equipment? Like just regular water pressure?
Just a regular gas powered pressure washer and, get some soap and stuff to clean it off, get the stains off, then seal it up.
So
Right.
Danielle, I thought you had
You have
one
a
of
pressure
these.
washer that
We
you
do
told
have
me
a
I could
pressure
borrow.
washer. We do, but it's not a gas powered one. It's I think electric, I believe. I don't know. No, he has it.
Well, you could have a conversation with your husband and
I
see if
can.
he,
Yeah.
Well, I
yeah.
mean, as far as the pressure washing goes, I'm really thinking about just asking on Facebook if anybody wants to pressure wash the front steps of the library because, I mean, there are people who just pressure wash things for fun because it's so satisfying. And, like if there is someone who would do that as a volunteer service, then that would be awesome. That's how we got our stacks painted. And if not, I will end up borrowing yours and doing it myself. But
Oh,
Danielle,
no.
you were just saying that your husband might do all of this for us.
He might.
well, not the
Yeah.
pressure washing part, though, right? Just the application of the finish.
All right. Sure. Whatever. I'm volunteering his help in whatever way needed.
Okay, well,
What a
I'll do
nice husband.
that.
I do. I do. I really do. Okay. If we're ready to move on, under grants in the capital campaign, Justin had mentioned how we've increased with the interest that's been earned, which is great.
Yes.
So other grants, not much with that, right?
There are no other grants right now.
Right. We're lucky we have what we have. Under friends, Ellie.
Yes. We're still working on the auction, which is always the same dates because we have this. One of the friends donated the banner thing, and so we don't have to change the dates of every year for by the day of the week. We just keep it the same as it was last year. Which the friends aren't meeting until I think a week from this coming Saturday.
Saturday after this Saturday,
Yeah,
September
and
6th.
yeah, and usually when we've talked about it before, it's been said to please try to get the banner thing up um, as soon after Labor Day as possible. So can you do that, Justin? I'll ask for them because I know that's what they would say.
September 6th, 10:30 a.m. is the meeting, and Labor Day that's this Monday, right? So
Right.
next week.
So it would be the second or third, maybe, that you could put it up.
Yeah, I will get it up next week.
I don't want you to have to do if it's pouring rain or anything, but
Well, that just makes it more exciting.
or a
A bit
hurricane
more of a
happens to.
challenge.
Yeah.
Put up the Friends banner. It will be done.
Okay, thank you. And the other part is I've got to add up some of the financial things that we've gotten from uh, different people like GBI and Pine Sand and Stone and the uh, uh, funeral hall next to you. I can't remember what that's called. Jackman's sent a nice donation as well as some others
Nice.
had done it. So I have to. We were trying to figure out the IFA stuff today, and I completely forgot to say. Oh, by the way, I owe uh, the building campaign some dough. So, but it would have been too late if I had settled it today. So I will try to do it within the next this week or next week to get you a check. So it's there for the capital campaign.
Woo.
And that's about
Thank
it, I
you,
think.
Ellie.
All right. If we're good with that, we can move on to strategic plan, action plan.
I actually have not made a strategic plan this month.
Yeah.
We've this month has just been busy. I haven't had time to put enough thought into formulating this. I have started thinking about it though, and I think that the best the thing we can do in FY26 is just be ready to pivot to whatever need the community ends up manifesting, because these are pretty chaotic times. And we're already seeing a lot of people use the library who've never used it before. In the first 6 months of 2024, we registered 101 patrons, and this year we've registered 187 in the same time period. So not quite double, but we're getting close to there, and the traffic seems to just be going up month by month. But I kind of wanted to ask y'all too, to think about it a little bit, because y'all are the trustees of the library, and what would you define as a successful FY26? Coming out of looking at what we'll be doing in budget season next year.
Is he bringing for you?
No, I guess that was a fluke.
I would
I would just say think about it. I mean, I could put out a survey,
I would suggest
or we could email.
Can we put this on the agenda for next month for a discussion, and maybe people have a chance to think about it? And where are we looking to go? The strategic plan and the action plan is kind of like, where do you want to be, first of all? And then the action plan is, how do you plan to get there? So maybe if we had a chance to think about it, and Ellie, if you could put it on the agenda for next month, I think this is a great time to look at that.
I agree. I think it might help. Also, I know we're not supposed to discuss it outside of these official meetings. So if we could, if you have the feeling in you to suggest stuff, just send all these suggestions to Justin. Then he can sort of shift things through too. But,
if people just send me emails, send me rants, send me your thoughts,
but not
send them to me through a
everybody.
ghost email if you want it to be anonymous, and then I can formulate it together into a presentation, word cloud it and see what people are interested in and focused on.
Yeah, because I do have some thoughts, but I just, I'm not ready to. I haven't written them down. So
can you do a Google Doc? Can people access a Google Doc? Everybody?
No,
okay.
I don't think
sure.
so, because that's you're not following the rules for
open meeting.
Open meeting. So I don't think that's a good idea.
Can't. Well, and we don't want another meeting to say, let's have a subcommittee.
Yeah.
So, is it
I can
safe,
just try not
Justin,
to generate any other business next month.
So is it safe, Justin, for us to individually email you our ideas, and then you put it together in some kind of a chart or a spreadsheet or something?
That, I think, would be the ideal thing to do, is if everyone could send me all their thoughts, and then I could compile them and have all, all of the raw text can still be there as well. Just so y'all can double check me and make sure I'm not being dishonest. And then, I can try to sort of weave them into a narrative and, see what rises to the top.
Yeah,
Can
and
you-
try to do it before, not the day before the next meeting.
Not the day before the next
Oh,
meeting.
no.
So
Absolutely
that's where
not.
Give
feedback
him
comes
No, we
from.
have
a
to be
couple
able
of
to.
weeks or something. Yeah.
And since we're missing a few people, Justin or somebody should make sure to tell the others what we're doing.
Hold on. I will
Right.
put that on my to-do list.
Thanks.
And you know what? I don't want to digress, but I'm gonna. Can I? All right, go ahead. I'll bring it back later. I'll remember it. Talking about the people who aren't here. Well, go ahead.
Ephus?
Oh,
Okay. Yes.
beautiful.
That was a great event.
Great work, Dawn. That was amazing.
Dawn,
Thank you,
you
Dawn.
were amazing in putting
Thanks.
that together.
Thank you. It was a lot of fun. And I was just reading about like how important community is just in general. And I was like, that's why it was so much fun. You know what I mean? Because everybody came together and the people who like I was just thinking about the people who parked when you were talking about Jackman's, they offered their spot and Unibank offered their spot and money and I don't know, it was just really, really nice to have everybody there. And someone was saying a river cooler. So if anybody finds a river cooler, please let me know.
If anyone finds a cooler?
I guess the Lund family lost a river cooler.
Oh, no.
Oh no.
No, we had a great time while we were there.
Yeah.
We did. It was I was reading something and it said, like if you want cool stuff to happen in your small town, you have to do cool stuff in your small town. And we definitely did a very cool thing.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh my God. And what a perfect day for a baseball game.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It was. That's hard to order that up, right? Especially in New England. But
I know, you never know.
I guess we that to Justin's point, like maybe like that's something we can. It was a lot of work, but it was worth it, and I think that's something that even if it's not through the library, that we should all be thinking of is what other cool things that could be done because that was unique and that it was filmed there. That's not going to happen all the time, but
It was a
Right.
once
I
in
don't
a
know.
lifetime opportunity. I mean, to watch
It
a movie in
was.
the place where it was filmed with the people who made it, about the town and the field that it was made. I mean, it was just the stars aligned there, and it was
Yeah,
magical.
and Tim Bonin is owed a special thank you, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think some of the people in my group anyway, they didn't realize like the whole movie was filmed there. Like usually that doesn't happen, right? Like,
Right.
we might not have touted that enough.
Yeah.
But
We lost Bill Lee at the last minute because of a family emergency, but I mean, honestly, I don't feel like it was a big damper on the event. We still had.
I have to say, our grandsons were really looking forward
Oh,
to meeting
oh,
him. And
oh,
one of my grandsons is holding on to a baseball from the Woo Sox with a Sharpie, hoping to get Bill Lee.
oh, I'm sorry.
oh, that's
And
so
when
cute. I
he
guess.
wasn't coming, we said there had to be an emergency.
Mm.
So we came back home and swam in the pool, and they ordered pizza, and they were happy. But yeah,
We learned a lot of things about EFIS too.
What
For
it
example, if
is,
we
the
ever
definition.
do this again, then we need to establish an account with the finance director first, where we can put all of the
Okay.
money that we're collecting for the event and then pay all the bills out of that account. Because we will never get away with doing this the way we did it this time again.
Yes, the town really helped us out all along the way because we had
Mhm.
no idea what we were doing. They were very good to us. And I heard a lot of really good comments about the library from people when we were there. So
that's great.
Very
Biggest library program ever, 463. I mean, when you
Yeah.
combine the game and the movie, and that's was just two random counts. I mean, people were matriculating in and out all day, so
Yeah.
that's what we were able to count, but there were more.
Yeah.
And I want to thank, the sons of Ernie, the Bob Josie's son, too, for bringing in the cars, because that was a really special moment, too. I don't know if everyone's aware, but, Bob Josie had a cameo in the movie. He was in it. And, he probably would have been there with us, but, he didn't make it to see the release. And that's kind of a sad
Oh,
for
no.
for
I
it.
did not
But,
know
the
that.
fact that we were able to get his cars there for it, as kind of a memorial to him was that was sparked good feelings.
Oh, I did not know that. Oh man, that gives me chills. It was a special night. It was a magical night.
Yeah, oh, really pretty.
Those of us who love baseball. All right, so
I'm loving baseball less because the Sunday after I was at Walmart buying baseball gloves for my kids, and now my wrist really hurts.
Oh, all right. So if we can move on to Overdrive.
So the good news is that Overdrive is back on the state contracts list. The bad news is that the MHEC didn't do a lot of negotiating. Our 25% discount came back at a 1% discount. So our CWMARS, MBLC, MLS, everyone is trying to light a fire under the MHEC to do better, to put it nicely. I still haven't re-enabled CPC licenses because I don't feel like paying I don't feel like the monetary value we would have to invest in those for a one-shot circ is worth it without the 25% discount. So until that comes back, I'm loath to really do much with CPCs. And let's see, in September, I'm hoping to kind of go in and instead of just blanket enabling all the licenses, which are $3 or less, maybe find the ones that are high demand and then just use the $600 I have in each of those budgets, the audio and the ebooks, to target what people have specifically on hold. And that might be a way to squeeze some more value out of those CPC budgets. But I've got to spend some money in Overdrive because we've got 912 unfilled holds as of this morning, and the wait time average is up to like 78 days.
That's nuts.
Wow.
So I've purchased some, but I'm still really hoping we get those discounts back so that investment can be more worth it because it makes sense to shift a lot of our digital purchasing back to print material until this situation is resolved because it's just a better investment for taxpayers.
That kind of I think it's taking a step back. I understand. In fact, I'm reading a book in print right now, thanks to Justin. That's a collector's item. I'm almost done with it, Justin. I'm going to put it in your book bin when I'm done. But anyhow, yeah, I think that's, I can't wrap my head around it, but anyhow, it's just such, whatever.
This is a problem I expect to get solved. It's just going to take some time because we had someone on MLS staff who was taking care of our contract negotiations with Overdrive. They retired last year. I think they threw the football to MHEC and somebody just didn't catch it. They didn't know what they were supposed to be doing. Communication wasn't what it was supposed to be. And then everyone just assumed, well, they want Overdrive back on the contract. We don't have to negotiate for, discounts because they just want to be able to, spend above the statutory, $9,999 limit. But I hope people are talking to each other more now because this has been depressing situation. Yeah. Our state bureaucracy should work better.
Yes. Is Overdrive nationwide service?
Yep, it is.
And so did they do this trick to all 50 states?
Not really. No, it wasn't Overdrive that dropped the ball. it was the state of Massachusetts, because no one was really clear, I think, who was supposed to be negotiating the contract, because MHEC assumed MLS was taking care of it. But, the MLS person had retired and had, arranged for, the MHEC to take care of it. And I don't know if somebody forgot or if someone, resigned and was replaced, but somehow it just got lost in the wash. And, Overdrive as a vendor isn't really, they don't have an incentive to reach out to the state and offer discounts. It's kind of on the state to reach out to the vendor and say, these are what we want to negotiate for, all of our organizations. And that just hasn't happened yet. And which is why, they're words like negligence, bad faith, and failing of statutory duty are being thrown around. Because the MHEC was really supposed to, negotiate a good deal, bring it to the table, and then have them as a vendor that we could access. But I mean, there's really only two vendors that exist for this kind of thing. One is Overdrive, and the other one is Access 360, which operates through the Baker and Taylor system, which we use to purchase books. But, like activating another whole ebook delivery system to run in parallel to the one that we're already running would just be not good for anybody. It would be bad for patrons. It'd be bad for us. We tried it once. We tried running Access 360 and Overdrive whenever we first started doing ebooks in like 2016 and 17. And the state and the networks quickly dropped Access 360 because Overdrive was so much of a better product. But now we're kind of paying for that because all of our eggs are in one basket.
I remember you talking about the Boston Public Library having something to do with the electronic books and audios. And is it different in different regions? I was asking, USA stuff, and now I'm just asking Massachusetts. Is it all equal in Massachusetts, or is there a reason why somebody might want to get a card to Boston Public Library so that they could access more materials?
We encourage people to do that already.
But how does one do it? I mean, is there an easy way to figure it out?
No, it's not easy. It's it's worth doing, but it's not easy. Because let's see, if I go into services, read more about Libby, to get the best out of Libby, you can use all of these library systems. The Boston Public Library, CLAMS, Merrimack Valley Library Network, Minuteman, OCLN, and Sales. So like once you go into the app, you have to put in your library card number and password that many times after finding and logging into all those consortia. So it's like a 15-minute procedure you kind of have to put yourself through. But once you do, you have access to all these library networks. And most of them have more digital material than CWMARS because we are the poor guys at the table. We're Central Western Massachusetts, Boston Public Library, Merrimack, Minuteman, they've got the big urban budgets. And so us all sharing with each other and making our stuff available to each other has been kind of good for them because we get some obscure stuff for our patrons and good for us because they get more of the, like big mainstream heavy hitting stuff. But yeah, I highly recommend getting your Boston Public Library e-card and adding that to Libby and all the rest of them too.
Well, I have a CLAMS card. I have a CLAMS card. My daughter lives in Truro, so that's the Truro library system. And I find a lot of the time, if I can't find it on our system, the CLAMS system will have it because they have more copies available with fewer people accessing them. I think that may be why. I'm not sure.
I somehow got I think it's Merrimack or something like that. So that shows up occasionally, but I've been away from the working side of libraries for so long that I can't figure out why it keeps on coming up, So I don't know what to do. And this doesn't really tell me easily what it is, but I don't know. I'll work on it a
The
bit
easiest
more.
thing to
And
do
now
is
I'll
just to
read
bring your
this.
phone to the library and let us walk you through the process.
All right. Okay,
Because
will do.
That works.
When I
because
bring
for
you
each
money,
one, you have to find the network, you have to log in, then you have to select you're not a Boston Public Library patron, you're a CWMR's patron, and you're trying to log in as a guest. Then you have to type in your library card number again and your password, and then you're done with Boston. Then you have to go to clams and do it all again.
But I can do it. I can do CWMRs and then the 6 other
and then you can have
sites.
all their stuff in Libby, or access to all their stuff in Libby.
Okay.
But you only have to do that once.
Yep. Once you do it once, it works forever.
It's there forever.
Okay.
Yay. All right. I'll look forward to this. I have to get the next Intrepid Readers book. So I don't think it's come yet. I don't know where it is.
All right. So can we move on with the agenda? The museum on Main Street. This is kind of cool.
Okay, so Museum on Main Street. This was a grant that we were awarded by the Smithsonian Institute, or the Historical Society and the library were kind of awarded it together. I think technically they got the grant, we co-sponsored it and signed it or whatnot. But we're going to use our website as the landing page for Museum on Main Street. Rebecca, Lisa Mazinski, and Rich Preston have been the ones working on this. But starting September 13th, the Municipal Center Gym is going to become a historical exhibit for 6 weeks about democracy in America, how it works, how it formed, like what it was like in the early days. We're going to have the exhibit there. We're going to have a presentation here on that banner that we have, the Douglas Whig Association banner. We're going to pull that down from the wall and get it down, and then Rebecca's going to do a big presentation about that, either in late September, early October, I think. But the big thing I'm kind of excited about is we are going to turn the story walk into a landing point where you can learn about all the candidates who are running for mayor of Douglas, including characters such as Triceratina, who's been hibernating under the Douglas Common for millions of years, and she's had enough of sleeping and never wants to sleep again. But she's noticed that everything is smellier since the last ice age. So if she becomes mayor of Douglas, there will be no bedtimes or naps unless you want them. But you'll have to brush your teeth after every meal and take a bath every day. It's for kids. Grown-ups can play this game too, but this is like how democracy works for kids. Everyone's favorite candidate so far seems to be Dougie Bear, because he appeals to grown-ups because he wants unlimited junk food, but also mandatory naps and bedtimes. Like, you got to go to bed at 7:00 every day. But, we're going to make all of our local vendors serve, kid-friendly foods, burgers, hot dogs, fries, honey, ice cream, all the jazz. Dark Horse is not going to have a platform. And he's not going to be on the ticket until Oktoberfest, when he's just going to appear, and his platform's just going to be nay.
That's good.
Oh my God.
Puffy McPloof.
Who wrote it?
I wrote
Come on. Keep it coming.
Puffy McPloof dreams of connecting all the ponds and lakes in Douglas into one giant water park. So we're going to go swimming and sliding, dive, paddle, splash into cool, clean waters of Douglas until we're too tired to move. It'll be great. But when we're done, we're going to study and practice math as much as we can, so we will always be the smartest fish in the school. And all of these candidates have a dream for the common. So like Puffy McPloof wants to turn it into a wave pool. Cheery Cheetah wants to make it a giant playground with a ninja course. Baldy, the eagle, wants to make it a fly-in theater. And so, yeah, this is going to be fun. They're all going to have like a post on the story walk. We're going to have a ballot box at the library that looks just like a real one. The kids can come vote for their favorite candidate.
Right.
We're going to have some exit polls set up so we can figure out why they voted for the ones that they did. And we're going to try to find a way to involve grown-ups too, as long as it seems like we can get away with it without, starting a fight.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. I love it so much.
And I'm hoping that these little stuffies generate like a lot of discussion. What I want to happen is grown-ups to get kind of excited about. So parents are talking about it with their kids. So it's not just the kids picking it, but like a grown-up saying,
Exactly.
I want Dougie Bear because, Dougie Bear. So if we can get sort of some intergenerational participation and get people talking about, democracy voting, what it really means and all that stuff, that will accomplish the goal of the exhibit.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Awesome. I'm so happy.
Definitely need some civic education right now. So that's a fun way to do it.
Yeah.
I thought so. And like a tool to all these little candidates so that there's a pro and a con kid stance. So, like there's definitely no appeal to different kinds of kids. And there's nothing that's really, political in there. It's fun stuff.
Yeah. That's awesome.
But I can't wait to roll out Dark Horse during Oktoberfest.
I love it. All right, I'm going to move on to personnel adjustment. I have to leave for just a minute. I'll be right back.
I sent an email, so everyone's already probably aware of everything. But just to recap, one of our library assistants has resigned. We're not happy about it, but it is an opportunity to recalibrate staffing levels in lieu of our schedule expansion. When we expanded our hours in July of 2024, we were hiring 2 brand new people to hire the evenings, and it was a very untested schedule. We didn't know what was going to happen. Now that the remaining library assistant has a year of experience, and we have a seasoned page who can also provide coverage in the evening. Everyone on staff agrees that it kind of makes sense to eliminate the second library assistant position and absorb the duties into the remaining staff by adding 4 hours a week to the other assistant schedule and 2 hours a week to each of the page positions. That would give us pages every night from 5 to 8 to keep up with shelving, which as our usage goes up, we do kind of need a little bit more of that. And this will give Lisa the opportunity to come in at 4 instead of 5 every day. So I have an hour with her to talk about projects and, figure things out instead of just passing like ships in the night and trying to, yell everything at her, as we're going down the stairs and exiting for the day. Because her coming in at 5 as the daytime staff is leaving is just kind of not working out. It leads to a lot of data dumping. It's not making anybody happy. So everyone on staff agrees this schedule would work better. It's kind of what we want to do. It also costs less and frees up a lot of our because the position, the library assistant position was budgeted at $15,000 a year. By using the remaining assistant and the pages, we can get the coverage we need for the desk for just $7,733 a year. So, I mean, since it's good for the library and good for the town, I think it's a no-brainer that we should make this adjustment and then just make this money that we've opened up available for transfer to other departments at fall town meeting.
Do we need to vote on it?
We would need to vote on making the $6,000 available. We don't need to vote on the schedule change, but nevertheless, it's not something I'm going to do without trustee input and, the blessing of the board.
All right, so let's start with a motion.
Can't we discuss it first?
That we make $6,000 available to transfer to other departments at the fall town meeting.
So moved.
A second?
Seconded.
All right. So now we'll open up the floor to discussion and questions.
I have a couple questions. First is, do you think we might need it later in the year to cover substitutes if somebody gets sick and we have to have more coverage?
I don't, because the town administrator's formulas always have so much built in anyway. This is leaving us still a very comfortable buffer.
All right, my other question is, when our budget went in, and to be certified, we have to meet certain percentage of last year's budget. If we take this out of the budget, will that affect, the certification percentage number?
It will not, because we're like over $100,000 over our minimum appropriation requirement these days. Because of it goes based on the average of the last 3 fiscal years. So since we jumped $100,000 in FY20 in July of 2024, the previous 2 years are still calculated in the math. So we're still looking at, our budget is still supposed to be 2.5% over the average of what it was over the past 3 years. And 2 of those years, our budget was not anywhere near where it is now. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yes, and then when you make the next year's budget, you're going to not include that amount. You're going to make a lower personnel than this year, because
that would be my intention.
I have a
Next
question.
year's budget is looking pretty rough. I know highway department has lost staff and town's not replacing them, and that's a very bad sign. So I think the more we have a lot of resiliency right now. We have a lot. I don't want to use the word padding, because it's not padding, because we do use our resources responsibly to fill needs. But so does every other department in town.
Is there restrictions on transferring in salaries or pay, people's pay, not particular to anybody, but is there restrictions on being able to just say, oh, here's $6,000? It's not necessarily going to go into personnel. And
that's frowned on by auditors and assessors and lots of people, because the way they see it is that the taxpayer intent when that money was voted in was that it would go to pay salaries. And transferring it between department salaries is kind of considered the more ethical move than transferring it from salaries to operations. Otherwise, it kind of looks like, oh, we need all of this staff, so we're going to ask for this budget. And then as soon as the fiscal year's ends, like, oh, we don't need it anymore, so we're going to spend it on, machines instead, cricket machines. And that's a really good way to kind of embezzle money for departments. So they don't like it.
Usually, always, the salaries are set at annual town meeting, and doing it if the fall town meeting is not the annual town meeting. That's when all the salary stuff is set.
Yeah, the positions have been voted on, and we, we're approved money to spend for all of our positions, and we're just effectively eliminating one, which is why it's, the money is kind of there to either turn back or just roll into free cash the next year. But that's kind of the 2 options we have, because if we try to transfer it to operations, it's going to raise alarm bells, and the auditors are probably going to say no.
I have to agree with Justin, because you're moving things around.
Well, it wasn't clear the way it was presented here. It just sounded like...
Let me finish, Ellie. Can I finish my question, please? So, Justin, you had said turning it back, or what was the other thing?
Either making it available for fall town meeting transfers, or just sitting on it until the end of the year so it rolls over into next year's free cash.
And what happens to the free cash?
It's just available to be appropriated next year.
To
usually
whoever,
for capital stuff.
Whatever department. It wouldn't stay with the library.
No.
It's free cash is what the town uses to create their budget at the annual town meeting.
Okay. I'm more inclined to put it in free cash. I don't know.
I am too.
If we put it in free cash, it will probably end up going to a capital item next year.
Not necessarily, Justin. All free cash is used. Some of it's used for capital, but all of the department budgets are using free cash. There's no magic there. It really isn't.
Well, we used to be using free cash, but we're not anymore.
We do. You do. How do you think we do our budgets at the annual town meeting?
It's based on the tax levy and the municipal appropriation of the 2.5% increase. The free cash is just what's left over from the last fiscal year that can be codified by Gene and then made available for further appropriations. And for a long time, we were reliant on that for operational stuff. But whenever we passed the override, whenever the town passed the override in 2018, we stopped being reliant on free cash for operational stuff. And so it all these days should be going either to capital or stabilization or other various and sundry things.
You're hoping that if it gets transferred at the fall town meeting, it might go to help hire one of these employees that didn't get hired when someone left?
Well, I don't. We can't say what it goes to. We just make it available, and then can go to another department that's in need. I know there are other departments in need, which is why that's what I proposed that we do with it, because it's either make it available now or make it available at the end of the year.
So what would we have to do at fall town meeting it would have to be an article and blah, blah.
No, it would just be if the trustees voted to make it available, like there's always Article 1, which is like transfers between departments. It would just show up there somewhere.
Oh, okay.
It would be part of one of those transactions.
Okay. Well, to me, it makes sense to do that. Might as well give the money now instead of just sitting on it.
Yeah. I have to agree with Kate. I think it might be in best interest to just do it that way. There's really no way that we can use it other than for personnel, right?
Mm-mm.
So, and we're not going to use it for personnel.
I mean, if I could turn it into ebooks, I would, but
I know.
I don't need any more personnel.
Yeah.
I would say make it available, whatever, turn it back. I guess turn it back.
As long as you're sure we won't need it for some long-term sub or something like that.
No, we shouldn't. We have adequate coverage built in for everything.
All right, I will entertain a motion to turn back $6,000 at the
Wait a minute, I thought we already had a motion.
It's already been done.
Oh, all right.
We've already made that motion.
All right.
It's already seconded. And we're discussing it right now.
All right. I wasn't sure. Is there any more discussion or questions? All right, all those in favor of turning back $6,000 in the general.
Where's Dawn? Oh, there she is. Okay. No, where is Dawn?
I think Danielle might have just froze.
Oh,
very unfortunate timing.
Yeah, but where's Dawn?
Dawn is gone.
Dawn is gone. Okay, so we don't have a quorum right now.
Dawn is gone, so we don't have a quorum anymore.
Okay.
And Danielle is
Danielle's
also gone. Danielle is also gone. Well, I guess we can discuss this next month.
I guess so. That was our last item, right?
It was, other than other new business and the next meeting and adjourning. But I don't know. How does this work? Do we have to adjourn immediately now, or?
I know, because if I take over, we still can't do anything.
You don't have to adjourn. We just can't take a vote.
No.
Okay, so we just can't take votes on anything. Okay, so we'll put that off until the next meeting. Any other new business?
I have 7 applications for the page position.
Wow.
All of them are okay with the adjustment because I originally posted the position to be from 6 to 8, and now I'm asking them to go from 5 to 8. So they're all cool with that. They're all from Douglas, and I'm going to do interviews starting on Thursday.
Cool.
Is somebody going to do them with you, Deb, or somebody? Gail or somebody?
I do them in my office with someone at the circulation desk so that Gail can kind of listen in. Deb's going to be on vacation next week, but she has already told me she's already looked over the candidates and given me her feedback on them. Because quite a few of them have been her Storytime kids in the past, and quite a few of them have volunteered here before. There's definitely names we know.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm. I always love hiring pages because, I have a very good track record of turning pages into librarians.
Yeah. That was the beginning of my library journey. All right.
Abby's actually covering this evening. She's going to college this fall and staying with us and planning on studying library information science. And Riley, who just quit so she could go to college, is also planning on, information technology. So we've roped them all in.
Nice. Wow.
I don't think anybody's
got to keep the libraries alive too.
Yep.
So that they'll have jobs to go to.
Through the CWMR's directors, because someone put out a survey of, like library page positions, how they're handling shelving. And I basically said, you guys are a bunch of morons. Because if you keep eliminating all of the entry-level positions in the field and letting, your library assistants and, like your higher ups take over those, then you don't have any entry-level positions. And before long, you don't have a field.
Yeah. Cool.
All right, we may have Danielle back.
I'm back. I'm back. I don't know what happened. I lost internet all of a sudden. So we're going for
we still don't have a quorum, though, so we're going to have to discuss the $6,000 next month.
All right. Okay.
Somehow we lost Dawn, so.
I think Dawn. All right. All right, then let's adjourn. All right. Table that till next.
So September 23rd at 6:30 p.m.?
Yes.
Sounds good.
I don't know what happened to me there.
Oh, I just stopped sharing. Sorry.
Oh, Danielle, you were going to say something about people not being here.
Oh, I wanted to mention that looking through the bylaws and everything, and this has come up over time, of when a trustee is unable to attend a meeting, to let somebody know, anybody, that they're not going to be there, so that we're sure that they still want to stay involved. It seems like we have a couple members who, for whatever reasons, I don't know, everybody's busy. So I just wanted to make sure that we're all here. That's all. I'm good.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense.
So we are done recording, right?
I will stop recording.